I think at that moment there was this rumor that was spread around in the country that we're gonna have a what do we say a recession.
Which year
I
was
didn't know
this?
this was in 2016 or 2017. I don't remember. But
Okay.
we had a recession planned out for 2020, which actually happened, but for a different reason due to
Who
coronavirus,
knows? It
right?
was all pre-planned.
No, but yeah, could be. No one ever knew. But then it was only limited to our country. Okay, so the recession was limited to our country.
Got it.
Probably we couldn't have predicted. Whatever. So the recession whole thing was stuck in my head, and I was like, okay, what is a recession? I didn't know what a recession was because I'm coming from an engineering background. I wouldn't know anything related to accounts or finance or anything as such, right? So I was like, cool, what is a recession? And then I started reading about things, and then I came across stock market. And I was like, cool, people are earning a lot of money. There are billionaires being made from stock market. And all they do
This
is
was
just
in
analyze, okay,
2017.
2016, 2017, yeah, 2017.
2017. Okay.
16 actually, 16, 17, somewhere in between. The academic year 16, 17,
Got it.
because
Got
that's
it.
when my first year started. Right. So I was like, cool. So I'm going to start something that is going to make me money in stock market. And I didn't know how. Okay. And then I started reading about the best stock market, earners or something. I'd just Google randomly. I'd be like, who earned the most amount of money from stock market? The obvious answer is Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Right. That guy is the world's richest stock market investor, I'd say. And I was like, cool, if they all are able to earn in billions of dollars, can I not make a million? My first goal
Makes
was
sense.
$1 million. Yeah. So I was like learning a lot of things about stock market, and I realized it isn't as easy as it looks on paper. Like on paper, people just tell you, find a couple of stocks, start investing in them, and then just keep investing in them till they grow, and at one point just sell them. Sounds very, rainbowish and all.
I know.
It isn't.
Easy.
Yeah, it sounds very easy, but it isn't. Like you need a lot of work in understanding what a company does, and you need a lot of other work to understand whether their financials are good.
Got it.
And you need another amount of work to understand when to enter into a stock.
Okay.
Like you can't just enter at the stock's highest price, although the stock has really good, growth potential. Like you wait for some time when it comes down, and then you buy here, and then it starts going up somewhere here. You sell it there. So that's how it worked. In my initial years of college, like 2016, 2017, I was learning what stock market does, and I understood that this is how the money is moved. This is how the economy is made. Majority of the economy comes from stock market. That's what I understood. I was like, cool. If there is a really big GDP, why don't I take a small pie of the GDP and earn it for myself? So that was my idea. And the idea was working pretty good, okay. So I made my first stock market investment in 2017 during my second year of college.
Mm-hmm.
My first investment was in Jet Airways.
Okay.
And I bought it at a really bad time. Jet Airways was going bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
My assumption was someone would save the company and the company is going to go back in time. Like the share price when I bought it was 251 bucks. Okay.
Okay.
I lost 30% of the value. 30% was my target on the upper side. So I was like, I lost 30%. I put on 25K and I lost 30%. I'm like, I lost about 7,500. What am I doing with my life? So I
That's
was
a
like,
nice
okay, cool, I have to
conclusion.
learn. Yeah. I was like, I have to learn more because engineering is not going to feed my life. To
True.
learn something that is going to feed my life. And at this point, I came across Yes Bank. Yes Bank was also coming down at that point because of the whole Anil Ambani thing and Vijay Mallya running off and
Mm-hmm.
Vodafone Idea coming down. So I was like, Yes Bank might be a good investment because banks can never go bankrupt. That is one thing I've learned. Okay, so banks never go bankrupt because the government is always going to intervene to help them out, which
Not
is what
all,
happened with
not
Yes Bank.
always. Not always. There
The
have been
bank that I have
there are few exceptions, but anyways, yeah.
mostly there is some kind of intervention from the government, either in terms of policy or money or whatever. And Yes Bank seemed really positive. Okay, so I was like, cool. I will buy out about 1,000 shares of Yes Bank. I bought them at $37. I sold them at 70.
Mm-hmm.
So that was almost like making 100% return, probably like a 10% less or like a 5% less. I made a really good return and I sold it. And that was my first taste of a really profitable trade in stock market.
This was
I was
in
like, this was in 2017 again. All of this was in
your
2017.
age was
My age was 19. I'm
nice,
20 now. I'll be 21 this year.
awesome.
Right? So 2017, I was like, cool. I was 18, I guess. I was 18,
Yes, you were
somewhere.
18.
I was all the way of getting into
The,
19.
I just was thinking how the fuck did he just age two
Yeah,
years when
yeah.
3 years
So
have
I was
passed?
all the way of getting into 19. So I was like, cool, I'll just get some more money from stock market because that seemed very easy money, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just put in about $37. That turned out to be $70 in a matter of 3 months.
Got
In a
it.
matter of 3 months, if everyone made 100% return on their investment, everyone would invest in stock markets and not do anything, right?
Definitely.
So I didn't understand that kind of thing. Okay, so I didn't have this ideology back then. I was like, yeah, I made it this time. Why won't I make it the next time? That was my answer to whatever question I had about like how I could make 100% return again.
Yes.
And I was like, Dad, I made 100% return. We recovered our loss and we made an 80% return on that. And this time my dad was like, oh, that's amazing. And then there was this mistakenly happening thing. Okay. So what I did was when I bought Yes Bank shares, in one day, Yes Bank shares rose by 30% due to some news saying that SBI is going to come to its rescue. Or
Mm-hmm.
there was some Canadian fund that was going to invest $2 billion into Yes Bank, which was a troubled lender at that point, and they would
Okay.
revive their business. So by mistake, instead of selling my shares that day, I bought my shares. So I was already having 1,100 shares and I bought 2,000 shares.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Okay. And 30 minutes later, I see there is a profit of 9,000 on my account.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, so is the 9,000 from the previous one or the current one? I wasn't unsure, like I wasn't sure.
Okay.
So I called up my broker. I was like, what is my P&L statement at this point? And
What's
then
a
he was
P
like,
and
your
L statement?
unreal P&L is like a profit and loss statement.
Okay.
So it tells you whether you have a profit or a loss. So I called up my broker and then he was like, your unrealized profit, as in the part where you didn't sell, is
Mm-hmm.
about 35,000 and your
Okay.
realized profit is about 30,000,
Okay.
right? Out of which I was like, how many shares are Yes Bank entitled to for the profit? He was like, you have a 9,000 profit on Yes Bank share. Like, how do I have it? I just sold all my shares. He's like, no, sir, you bought 2,000 shares this morning. They've surged by 30% or whatever number. And you have a really good profit at this point. I'm like, cool, sell everything out. Because getting a 30% return in one day is really high.
Insane, yeah.
Even till this, yeah. So even till this date, I don't make a 30% return. That was a one-time event. And I was like, if I can make a return of 30%, why shouldn't I try out stock market like on a regular basis, like
Definitely.
intraday trading and all? I came up to my dad one day and I was like, so see, this is the thing. Intraday trading has a lot of money and I want to pursue this as my career. My dad's first reaction, as every other dad, wasn't like he didn't react the same way as I expected him to react. I thought
Mm-hmm.
he'd be like, okay, no, that's not a viable option because people lose a lot of money in stock market. My dad lost a lot of money in stock market, so I thought he would say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then at this point, my dad was like, cool, you've tried out a lot of things. Why don't you try out this as well? And I was like, sure, why don't I try it out? But then I didn't have the time to learn technical analysis and start intraday trading. Right? I was in college. But then during this year, I started slowly learning technical analysis during weekends.
Okay.
So 2020 is my turnover point, I'd say. So I don't go out, I don't hang out a lot, I don't drink, I don't smoke up, there is nothing. So I'm like super clean and all. So I save a lot of money that way because remember you asked me one day, why don't you smoke or like drink or anything, right? Like what keeps you motivated that way?
Might have
So
asked.
yeah, you've asked, and I was like, cool, everyone does it. Like, why don't you do it? Was your question. We were just having some motivational conversation, and
When was this?
like
Was this during New
this
Year?
is no, I think this is pretty recent. Like when we were talking about the whole phone thing, when you wanted to buy a new one and all.
Okay, 3 months ago or four
Yeah,
months. Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
some
phone
pretty
thing.
recent.
Phone thing was
Yeah, it
like
was
1 week
pretty
ago.
recent, last week or 10 days ago. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
remember this time or the call before that. We had like two or three calls in between, right?
Yes.
During the pandemic itself. So you asked me, you were like, everyone does this. Why don't you do it? Like, what keeps you motivated that way? And I was like, I didn't have an answer then. I was like, it was principles or whatever. It was an inner thing, okay. But then the actual thing was, I thought it was very stupid to answer that question in the first place, the way I would answer it.
Okay.
Because my answer is a calculation. It's not exactly an answer.
I
So my
understand.
calculation, yeah, my calculation towards intoxication was, I would spend at least 100 rupees weekly, right? On an average, someone would
Mm-hmm.
spend about 100 bucks weekly. Weekly would make that 400 bucks monthly. That's the least amount, okay? And then they'd go out on a day or two during the month, like once in 2 weeks or once a week or something. And they'd blow up about 800 bucks or 900 bucks in that single day. So on an average, I'd spend about 2000 bucks in a month. Equate that to an year, I'd spend about 24,000. Spending 24,000, I don't have that kind of money in my pocket lying around, right? I don't earn in the first place. And even if I do, from an engineering job, I'd probably earn about like 50,000, out of which I'm spending 24,000 on this,
This
which means I
this
have
you
24,000.
this you are saying because you do not want to ask your parents for more money. You're saying you
Yeah,
you're saying all
yeah,
of, I
yeah.
mean what you just told, engineering after getting a job after engineering also, that's
Yeah.
because
I don't want to ask
you
my
don't
parents
want
for
to,
any help.
yeah, you don't want to spend your money on stupid
Yeah,
shit.
I want to be self-sufficient. Yeah.
Yes,
So I was
self-dependent.
like, yeah. So I was like, cool. So if I spend about 24,000, that means that's nearly half of a month's salary. And if I'm spending that kind of money on this, where is the money that I'm going to save, right? Like
True.
that'll probably be the same money that's going to increase my savings. So that was kind of an explanation, but I never told this to anyone because people would be like, 24,000 is not that big of money when you like take it per month, because per month it's just 2,000, right? And 2,000 is still a lot of money for someone who actually starts earning. Because
Very
people don't
true.
realize the value of money when they don't earn, like when it's
Very
someone
true.
else's money, all of that money. It's just like,
That
oh,
is the reason why people are so comfortable in life. They feel
yeah,
they can just chill because there's somebody there pushing
yeah,
them
because
behind.
there's someone. Yeah. So that was really never the point for me. My dad always pushed me to like earn my own things and everything. Remember that camera incident that I told you? So he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "You put in 50%, I put in the rest of the 50
Yes.
because you're earning." And after that, I sold that camera and I bought a new camera.
Okay.
This time, I bought it with my own money.
Okay.
Like, it was a really good camera. It was an FX camera. I bought it for like 1.2 lakhs at that point. And this was in 11th grade itself.
That's
I earned
amazing.
enough from those photography things and I put off all of my savings for that camera. All of that happened. And coming back to 2020, uh, starting of this year, I made a couple of resolutions. Right? Every year I make resolutions, every year I break them. I never follow those resolutions. This year I was like, I have to do something. I have to change my life because I'm getting older. And this year's resolutions were one, I meditate. Two, I work out and I get in shape. Three, I need a source of income because I don't want to work a nine to five job.
Right
It's
on
not
point.
my thing. Yeah, so I don't want to work a nine to five job. And this year is my placement year. So I was like, cool, I have to do something for this. And four, never ask money from my parents for anything. And
Seems like
with all of this,
we had similar resolutions.
yeah, I think we spoke about this. We spoke about this on some call, and then we were like
Yes.
telling each other that we want to achieve all of these things this year. We were like, yeah, I can relate and everything. Yeah, it was really nice to know that someone actually has a drive towards life.
I noticed.
Because most of the people I know, they're still wanting to chill. They don't want to like make a really good life for themselves.
Again,
So
it's
coming
all a
back to me.
choice. If you ask me, it's all a choice.
Yeah, yeah, it's always a choice. We tend to make bad choices
But then
until we're
from
too late and realize.
what I see from what you just told me since beginning, I
Hmm.
feel like you unknowingly took the right choices. Unknowingly then.
No, there were bad choices in
No,
between,
still,
which I didn't
still.
talk about, right?
But the best ones were you took every opportunity you got. You didn't wait.
Yeah, that was
See,
my
the diff.
defining point.
It's okay.
ఏమైనా సూరజ్ మిమ్మల్ని విషయం మాట్లాడతాను తింట తర్వాత సారీ
Yeah, that's all
yeah
right.
so like unknowingly or knowingly I always took an opportunity whenever the opportunity threw itself towards me
That
and
is the
the
thing.
always turned.
That is the thing, right? If you just sit at your home wishing that opportunities are going to come knocking, that's not the case. You need to. That's what you
Yeah,
did. You went looking for them. And then
yeah,
people
I went looking
suddenly you
for
got
them
one
to
or
say
two
that.
and then they clicked.
Yeah, they claim. Actually, I got a lot of opportunities that I didn't take, out of which, like, whatever I took,
Uh huh.
a few of them clicked. Right?
Quite.
But there's always a
When
bad
they
aspect
clicked,
towards,
they
yeah,
whichever
they
did
click
good, they
really
went
well.
really well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there's always a bad aspect behind every successful person, right? So I had
Hmm.
my own set of bad experiences and
I
everything,
like that.
getting chucked out during my 11th grade and everything. And I was never this serious about life, right? So the seriousness about life actually came in during my 12th grade
Mm-hmm.
because that's when I realized I'm not going to an IIT. I'm not going out of the country to study. How
You
am I going
got
to
some
make money? How
clarity.
am I going to? Yeah. So that was my defining point, you could tell.
Mm-hmm.
And then my next defining point is this year, the resolutions I've made and everything. And for finding the alternative sources of income that would earn a lot, I started intraday trading. Okay. So intraday trading, I thought everyone loses money. And that's how people make money in the long run because they don't care about the losses in the midway.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've realized was intraday is kind of the thing that makes you a lot of return when you have a small capital. So when you're not really rich and you want to get rich faster, this is one of the ways where you can make the highest amount of return in a very short period of time.
Got it.
So I've read about this fund a couple of months ago. It's called the Medallion Fund.
Okay.
Okay, so it's run by a company called Renaissance Technologies or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. It's Renaissance or Renaissance. That company is actually an investment firm, which also makes a particular, I think, hardware or software solutions for other companies. But
Mm-hmm.
their main thing is the Medallion Fund. Okay, so the Medallion Fund returns higher than Warren Buffett's returns every year. But we all know about Warren Buffett's fund being the most richest fund. Like it
True.
gives the highest amount of return, but no one talks about the Medallion Fund because people don't know about the
Wait,
Medallion Fund.
is this medallion fund operated by Ray Dalio?
No, I think it's operated by Jim Simmons. Jim Simmons, or I think Ray Dalio was a part of it. Wait, let me check.
Because Ray Dalio has the best returns ever till date.
1 second. So, Medallion Fund. No, it's operated by Jim Simmons, Howard L. Morgan.
Okay.
So these guys run Renaissance Technologies, and anyway, so that's not the idea. The idea is Medallion Fund returns about 50 to 60% year on year. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so what happens is Warren Buffett's returns are only 20 to 30% year on year. And the only advantage where Warren Buffett is making more money as opposed to Medallion Fund is Medallion Fund's capital is closed. So no one can subscribe to Medallion Fund. You can't
Got it.
invest through that anymore. Just Warren Buffett's fund where you can continuously reinvest. Like no matter how big your capital might be, you can continuously reinvest using Warren Buffett's fund. But you can't
Okay.
do that with Medallion Fund. And that's why Medallion Fund returns about 50 to 60%, and Warren
Okay.
Buffett's fund returns about 20 to 30%. The market crash of 2008 and 2009, the market benchmark indices like Dow Jones and S&P 500 have dropped by 100% or 80%, or so there was some percent of damage
True.
done to the index. Right? It was almost diminished. And at that point, because of the housing bubble, all of the companies lost their value on the stock market. And it wasn't this regulated as it is today. So that way, there were a lot of people who lost a lot of money. But those simple people who actually observed things, like they didn't do a lot of work, they simply observed what was happening around them. Those were the guys that made 170% returns,
Exactly.
120% returns, 190% returns. I wish to be one of those people, right? So I'm always trying to learn. I wouldn't say I'm there. I'm not even at the stepping stone of getting there. Still trying to learn. But like knowing about those people makes you want to be them or want to, replicate their life's work or their mindset.
Very true.
So I was like, yeah, I was like, cool, Medallion Fund gives out this much amount of money. What can I do in my life? So I started learning intraday trading. There's a lot to learn. There's technical analysis that teaches you how to enter and exit a trade, how to, predict the range of your profit and everything. And I was like, cool, this will be a really nice thing for me. And this is also going to give a lot of return. So during the lockdown, when the lockdown started, I was like, this is the best time for me. Like, I don't have any work and I have a lot of free time. So I
Very
might as
true.
well use it for learning something, right? So I started working on intraday trading and I learned technical analysis for like a month. I was experimenting in between. I lost my capital. I started with about like 30,000. I lost all 30,000. My dad was fine with it because it was my dad's money. And then he was like, hey, you're learning. It's fine. You just learn.
Got
You'll
it.
make more money after that. And I was like, yeah, but then I still have that stress of losing money, right?
Very true. Very true.
So I was like, I've put in so much. I have lost all of it. I don't even earn. How will I repay you? Like, you don't have to repay me. Just learn and start making money for yourself. And I don't think there are such parents, like on a majority basis. There are like very few parents who actually support their children to that big a level. And I think that was another opportunity and, an exception for me. Not everyone has the same kind of circumstances and opportunities as I do to become what I am or earn how much I earn. Then there are like very few parents who actually support their kids to that big a level. That's what
That's
I feel.
very true.
I don't know if people actually give out that kind of money for, like someone who says, I want to invest in stock market without knowing anything. So this technical analysis journey was very nice for me. And one whole month I was like learning and I was losing money and I was demotivated every day. And that's when you started your own this thing, right? Like a talk show kind of thing, where you talk about your own experience, you talk about how you're motivated and everything.
So
And I was like,
basically, I'll tell you why I did that.
right,
I know you didn't ask, but I'm just sharing so that whoever
yeah,
is
sure,
watching
go
can
ahead.
get an answer also.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah,
I used to send two or three people whatever was motivating me, and then I used
right,
to type in the message to them and send personally. And then
right,
I saw that one guy has become insanely driven, and that guy started doing
right,
shit. And then I started
right,
watching Grant Cardone got introduced for me. So
right.
I binged on 100 hours of his videos. It
Mm,
gave me a subconscious blueprint of something, which has made me
right,
so driven. And
right,
then Gary Vee came into the picture. This guy started saying,
right,
"Ki, if you're doing something and if it can help others, why the fuck don't you share it?" So I'm like,
right,
yeah, it is helpful like that. And then he says, you help them and you see the response you get. So I started doing
right.
that. And then people started helping me with my own things like the YouTube channel. The intro,
Yeah.
a childhood friend, I don't know if you remember him, his name is Sri Charan. He was in
Yeah,
our
yeah, I
school.
remember that guy.
He
Yeah.
he made the intro. I did not speak
Oh,
with
that's
him for so long, but out of the blue he
yeah,
comes up and he makes the intro for me.
amazing. Yeah, it's actually amazing how people, remember you and want to help you. If you want to
Exactly.
do something, they're always ready to help you out. You just
I
need to start
actually
doing
offered him some deal kind of thing, and then he
it.
laughed.
Right,
And he's like, bro, why are you even offering? You're a friend of mine. That's the reason I wanted to do this for you. So I was like, holy
right.
shit, this is insane.
It's actually wonderful,
I know.
right? These are the kind of things that, drive you towards what you want to
Exactly.
do in a better way.
Exactly.
So the same thing with me, right? Like my dad was a really big support for me all throughout my life. Any mistake, he always used to tell me one thing: learn something out of it. Don't let your mistake, which cost us a lot, go to waste. Just learn something out of it. Never make that mistake. Use the same thing that you learned for something else. Make yourself better. So
Wow.
that was like a driving
That
thing for me. That was
that
always my
was
dad.
that is something everyone needs to be told since a young age.
Yeah, yeah. People are always told, like your life is fixed. Since you're in a middle class family, all you can do is like become an engineer or a doctor because that is the only fixed source of income.
True.
But the reality is, they are the least earning people in the world. So,
Exactly.
my brother-in-law told me this story. Okay, in Kerala, people who sweep and clean your house earn the same as an engineer. The thing
I
is,
know.
people don't want to do that work in Kerala, and to get someone to actually do, your housework, you have to pay them a lot by like let's say 20,000 or 25,000. That's how much you have to pay to your maid who works like, on cleaning your house as well as cooking.
That state is
That's the
the
same.
most educated state in India, I guess,
It's the
right?
most literate state. It's not the most educated
Yeah,
state.
literate, whatever.
Yeah. So he was telling me this, and I was like, that's kind of the average salary for like the lowest branch in an engineering college, or probably
True,
like most of the engineering colleges end up with like 25 to 30,000 per month. The
true.
only difference is they wear a tie and a really nice shirt and walk into an AC roomed office, and these guys come and work their asses off every morning.
Very true.
But the end result is the same, right? The best advantage is these guys are not taxed; those guys are taxed. What's the use? Like you're earning less, although you're living a good life. When you're earning less, you can't do anything with your life. This guy, although he's earning more, and his dignity is probably taken lesser in terms of society, he can do more than what you can do. Although you're more educated, you've invested more in yourself. This guy, what do you need for, sweeping the place and all? All you need is like a broomstick and really good arm, I'd say.
Very
There's no
true.
training as such. So all of this like tried to teach me new things, and this medallion fund. So I was like, cool. If fund can make about 50% to 60% return, they invest in short term. Okay, they invest in something for less than 1 year, and they remove the money and they make the return. So
Mm-hmm.
50 to 60%, they remove the money, and then the next year they've done something else. So I was like, cool. Intraday trading is the only way that I can make such kind of returns, and I started learning technical analysis and I started making money from intraday. During March, I think I came back in March last week. I
Mm-hmm.
came back on 22nd, and 24th is when I started learning technical analysis. At April 15th, I learned technical analysis. I was paper trading during that time. It's like
Okay.
I trade on paper, like I write down what I trade. It's all like a bunch of crap because no one understands that apart from me. Like I write the price at which I buy and I write the price at which I sell. And then it's everywhere on the page. I don't write it in an order or anything
Got it.
because I know when I've traded, and all I need to know is how much I've made at the end of the day to know that I'm profitable or not. Right? So I've learned a couple of strategies and everything. And one thing that trading actually teaches you in terms of mindset, right? When an opportunity comes to you, you're always supposed to grab it, no matter what. So, like, let it be a profit making trade or like a loss making trade. If you grab the opportunity, there is something that will teach you. Like, a profit making trade could teach you how your profit was made. Like, if it worked out, it'll tell you that, this trade or this strategy worked. So, you can continuously use this and make money. A loss making trade, on the other hand, will teach you that, this strategy failed, so don't use this again. Don't make that mistake. So all of this is like a mindset kind of thing where you learn things that you can relate to your regular life. Like you get an opportunity in life for something, you take it no matter what. It will
Very
teach you
true.
something in the end. So that was a driving thing again. And in the end, last month was my most profitable trade. Not last month, sorry, we're in August, right? Last whole month, I was testing another strategy to understand whether that was making me more money or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is going to make money. I'll test it out in reality this month. I was
Okay.
testing it on the market during like paper trading during the market hours last whole month, and during June I was trading with actual money, and my capital was about 2 lakh rupees.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. and I think I've made about close to 50%. I could say 40% is what I've made.
Okay.
Like after charges, I've made 30%, 30%, 33%.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
33%. Yeah, I'll just show you the thing. Wait, I'll just screen share it. 1 second. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So this is like a 2 week thing.
Mm-hmm.
Starts from 17th. I've traded from 17th to uh, 25th. Right?
Okay.
Can you see the thing?
Yeah, I can see it.
Right. So I've there are a couple of days where I don't make a lot of money. I only make like $150 or $110 or something. And there are days where I've made 9 rupees loss and all. But
Mm-hmm.
then the thing is, it comes up to that kind of a loss. Like I actually don't make 9 rupees loss or something. Like who would close a trade for 9 rupees loss? You're trading for 2 lakh rupees, right?
Mm-hmm.
There'd be like a certain amount of profit, but then the losses would be higher. So I would make a very less profit, like this 150 rupees you see here on the right side. If you see,
It's a
this is
small number.
150. Yeah, it's a very small number, right? 150, and then the next day it's 12,284. This
Mm-hmm.
is including the profit and losses I've made in time. So
Okay.
the next day I've made about minus 9 rupees, which means I've made a loss of 9 rupees. And the
Mm-hmm.
next day I've made 15,518. There's 6,115. There's 18,671. We ended with like 24,578. Now
That's
there's this question
insane.
where now there's this question where people tell you, like everyone shows this, but is it actually real? Why don't you check it? This is my account, and this is all of the trades I've made. And let us go to June 17th to 25th, and let's move it to equity. Sorry, futures, because I trade in futures and options now.
Mm-hmm.
The previous part was like, I don't do anything in equity anymore. It's just like I started with equity in testing, and
Okay.
it was just 20 rupees loss or 130 rupees profit. There's not much to be made. So this is what I've showed you before, right? This
Yes.
is the same
Initially,
one. Right?
when I
Yeah.
didn't tell you I was recording the video.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. So this is like I've actually made a profit of 78.3K during those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, which is a week, right? So I've made
That's like 10K a
78.3K.
day. You made like 10K, almost more than
Yeah,
10K a day.
yeah. So 78.3, and then I've paid a charges of 11.3K, and I have made a net profit of 67K. Like I told you, right? There are no
Yes.
profits of 150 rupees. I wouldn't close a trade for a profit of 150 rupees or
True.
a loss of 10 rupees. So this is how it happens, right? I have a profit of 2,500. I have a loss of 4,300. There is a loss of 1,300. There is a profit of 35,000. There is a loss of 14,000. Including all of this, at some point, you make a lot of money, and some days you lose a lot of money, like 14,000 loss. But then at the end of the day, the only thing that matters for me, right? It's just that I have to be in a profit, and I have to be in a good amount of profit. The profit that I just showed you was on a capital of 2 lakhs.
Mm-hmm.
Calculate to make a 33% return in 1 week. People
Mm-hmm.
are dying to make a kind of return for 1 year. If I've made that in 1 week and I'm consistent, I would make a lot more during my
Very
entire
true.
trade.
Very true.
That's the thing. That's where, this money keeps you giving a little bit of adrenaline. But if you don't follow, what do we say? Can you see?
Your
The,
your video is
okay.
not there.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I just stopped streaming the other one. So, like when all of this happens, people don't realize that there is a downside to all of this. There are days where I make a really bad loss. There are days that I don't make profit at all. But then the most important thing is you never stop trying. You should always try
Exactly.
it until you lose out your entire thing. Either you hit the highest point or you hit the lowest point. When you're in the middle, why do you want to stop?
It
It's like
doesn't
the
make
same thing
any
for me.
sense. It's like
Yeah,
stupid
why
to
would you
stop in the
stop?
middle. Like, dude, you've already
Yeah,
begun. Might as well finish it, and
yeah,
if you're getting fucked, just get fucked and then get it
yeah,
finished.
exactly,
Don't just leave it
exactly.
there.
That's the point. Yeah. So this is what I've learned while trading. Okay, so I'm in the middle of a trade. I've just traded and I've started and I make a good return. But
Mm-hmm.
there is probably a lot more return that has to be made during the same trade.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of times during the beginning days, like the early days of my trading, I used to enter a trade. I used to make a profit of 3,000 and I used to be like, so much money and all. And I used to be very raved about it, like hyped about it. Because 3,000 in like 1 minute is like a lot of money for me.
Of
I
course.
ask my parents for 3,000, they'll take 10 minutes to give it from their purse, although they have it, right? Ask me a bunch of questions. But if I'm making 3,000 in 1 minute, that's a lot of money for the kind of
Very
capital
true.
I had at that point. So I used to like check again in like the next 1 minute. If I just held my trade,
Mm-hmm.
I would have made about 20,000 in the same trade, which means I've lost about 17,000 of my profit at that trade. Why
Damn.
would I wait? Like I either hit the lowest point, which is my stop loss, where I would take a loss, or I hit the point of my target. My target is fixed. My target is this much percentage on whatever I trade per day.
Got
But
it.
if I'm making it in one trade, why do I make so many trades and pay so much amount of charges? That's my point, right? So never stop something that you're actually doing. Like if you're doing something, just do it till the higher end or till the lower end. Don't stop in between. Why do you want to stop in between? You either make money or
Exactly.
you don't make money. The
Exactly.
least you'd lose is a couple of money and like your little time. But then this advantage is there only before you get married because after you get married, there are a lot of responsibilities and shit, right?
We have
So
the
you
age on
can't
our side.
actually, yeah, we have the age on our side and we have the advantage, where parents can actually take care of you even at this age because the mistakes you
Exactly.
make are always going to help you learn, right? So that's what my dad told me. He's like, make as many mistakes as you can, learn as many things as you can. At the end of the day, once you cross your 28 or 25, you'll start getting married and you'll have a serious life where you can't afford to make these kind of mistakes. When
So,
you can't afford to make these
any
kinds of
girl
mistakes,
listening right now, Jayanth is willing to get
I
married
don't think
after
so.
26.
Yeah, let's push it to 28, I guess.
Okay,
But okay,
28.
so
8 more years.
so that's the thing. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Like, why do you want to waste away all of your life when you can afford to make those mistakes and learn something and make money out of it? At this point, I've learned that finance is my forte, and I want to make a lot of money in the stock market, where everyone on a daily basis, at least like there are about 1 crore shares traded in a single day. Okay,
Okay.
and let us say the average share price is at about 200 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand the kind of money that's being traded on a single day? That's 200 crores. 200 crores in a single day in a single stock. Imagine there are like 4,000 stocks,
There is no
4,900 stocks, or
shortage of money,
4,500.
people. There is no shortage
Yeah,
of
there is
money.
no shortage of money. There is only shortage from your side.
You
That's the
don't know
effort.
how
You
to.
put in an effort.
Yeah. You put in the effort and you figure out
Yeah,
how do you do it. That's
yeah,
it.
and there's one more thing I want to tell. Okay, so a lot of people think all of these YouTube people who are trying to teach people are actually calling it fake or like they don't know something as much as someone who has a brand new building of an office and they teach you with their own professional set of kits and
Got
everything.
it.
What difference does it make? Like in the end, all you need is knowledge and how you can apply it, like how you
Exactly.
leverage your knowledge to make money. People call all of these YouTube people fake and all. I don't get it. Like, have you tried their strategy? Have you
Exactly.
used their
No, the
advice?
thing
Don't
is,
call them fake.
the people, even after they get the advice, even after they get the strategy, they don't execute.
They don't use it.
They don't
Yeah, ninety
execute.
percent of the people.
You know the reason
I swear. So
the reason once there was this person who asked me, why do you tell people everything what you do? So this is what I saw Gary Vee say actually. He's like, why do you, his strategies, he literally tells out A to Z strategies of a business. What exactly is he doing
right,
for marketing? And then when a
right.
reporter asked him, why do you do this? He says, people are too lazy to execute. So
Yeah, what difference
that day
does it
I
make?
was watching it on my phone and then it hit me. He's exactly talking about me. I am the guy who's sitting
Yeah,
at the home just
yeah.
watching,
That's
not
every
doing.
person, literally. Yeah, that's
S-
every person, literally.
Exactly. But then I started doing it with Make Me Garden and then I started, building a brand for myself. And on
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, so Gary Vee is big for LinkedIn. I
Right,
started abusing LinkedIn. I wanted to figure it out. And right now,
Right.
the messages I'm getting on LinkedIn are like this. Suraj, I want to connect with you on a call tomorrow. I would like to share some business
Right.
opportunities. Like, I
Right.
have 4 or 5 people hitting me up like that. So that's giving
Right.
me a lot of new opportunities to involve myself with.
Yeah.
It all came with
That's
execution again.
amazing. Yeah, people don't execute. That's the problem. It's the same with me. People ask me like, how do you earn a lot of money? You actually earn a lot of money. I put them on Instagram. Like I put a couple of stories on
I know
Instagram
I've
showing my
seen it.
profits and all. Yeah. So people call out on me telling that I'm fake, right? But then if you're calling out on me telling that I'm fake with the kind of returns that I have because you can't believe the kind of returns I'm making, how do you prove it? You've never tried anything out in my
Exactly.
side of things. So if you try it out, like ask me, I'm ready to help. Like if you text me on Instagram,
No,
I'm
see,
always ready to help.
this is the base. Even if you want to shit on
Yeah,
him, you need to try and then shit on him. Without trying, you
yeah,
cannot shit on him
exactly,
because you do not know what the fuck
exactly.
is he doing.
Yeah. So like a lot of people text me on Instagram, okay, with the same story. First, they go like, how do you make that kind of money? I just tell them it's a simple strategy. You just need to understand the strategy. Takes you about like a week or 10 days, and you understand a couple of financial terms, and you do all of this. You understand the simple rules of how the instrument works, like the stock or
I
an
know.
option or a futures contract. You understand how it works, and you can make money. You can make the same kind of money that I do. They text me after 10 days, and they go like, "Did you get the same kind of return that you got the other day?" Maybe I didn't, maybe I did not. I don't know. Like some days I would have gotten, like you've seen, right? My P&L statement, some days I would have
Mm-hmm.
made 34,000, 35,000. Some days it's just 5,000. So they text me on that kind of a day and then they go like, how much return have you made today? And I'm going to go like, yeah, why should I lie? So I'll tell them the real thing, right? I probably made a loss of like 10K, 5K. I'll tell them that. They go like, so it didn't work out for you. Why should I try it? Well, you're not legit. You've been faking it all this time. I'm like, boss, you never make a profit. If everyone's always making a profit, they would always guard that as a secret. No one would tell it out, right? No one's
Exactly.
going to teach you. Yeah, it's
But
like
then,
markets are not efficient.
but then when I saw your story, I did not perceive it like that at all. Every time I see the numbers, I am like, holy fuck, this guy's earning money. I need to hit him up. I want to know what is he doing. And then I did hit you
Right,
up. And then you sent me the
right, right.
material you used initially.
Yeah,
In fact,
yeah,
I started reading that book. I read halfway through. And then I
yeah.
realized ki stock
Hey, you
is...
told me you texted me about some doubts as well.
Yeah,
And
but
then you're
then...
like, I don't have the background for that, so I don't know.
Exactly.
You
Then I
texted me
figured
about that.
I'd rather go into something I'm passionate about.
Right.
And then, if you can pay attention, we can continue this.
Right. One sec. I'm showing you something. So yesterday I've made a return of about not yesterday, day before yesterday, Friday. Fridays are usually the kind of days I don't trade, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because every Friday I've seen on my P&L statement I've lost money. There
Okay.
was never a Friday that I've made money. It's always a loss. But yesterday there was like a perfect opportunity for me to trade with the same strategies that I used during the week. So
Mm-hmm.
I've made about like 70.8K. Can you see?
That's insane.
Yeah, I've traded on one contract, right? So
And
my idea
that's
was,
that's in a day.
yeah, that's in a day. That's only in a day. I
70k,
only, yeah,
70k in one day. Now that is
on 2
something.
lakhs, on the same 2 lakhs. Yeah. So that's like a 35% return, right? So like the moment you start increasing your percentage, you make more money. And people don't get that, and then they call you out on it, and then they go like, "Okay, this is not real. This is not that. This is not this. You can't make that kind of money with such low capital." But have you ever tried it? Why dispute it when you don't try it? That's
Exactly.
what I tell.
I tried
And then
it.
they're still going to come
I
up with some
tried
kind
it.
of
It is
logic.
not easy.
Yeah.
I put in
Yeah,
effort.
it's not easy.
And
I'm
then
not gonna lie.
when I'm
Yeah.
saying I put in effort, I literally sat down for 8 days. 8 days I kept texting him every day or calling him. But those 8 days I was just
Yeah.
into it. And then on the eighth day it hit me. This is not something I'm passionate about. I was just doing it on
Yeah.
the side. So I told him, I gave him an offer actually saying, whenever you're going to start a hedge fund kind of business, I will
Yeah.
be the first one to give you the capital.
And actually, he didn't tell this. He was like, why don't I give you the money, make the same kind of returns at this moment? Like, he
Yes.
just told me, I'm ready to give you the money right now. Like, today. And
That's
this happened like
because
2 months ago.
that's because I was earning money and then I did not know where to
Yeah,
put in. It was small amounts. So
yeah,
the small
yeah,
amount
yeah.
I did
But
not know
still,
where to put. So
yeah,
next thing I was like, I can give it to Jayanth. He's making money, so he can make money for me.
yeah. And the thing I told you that day was, I guess, I need some more training and I need some more
Yes.
surety for myself before I handle others' money, right? Like, I
Yes.
don't give you unsolicited advices that, might or might not work. Test them out for a particular amount of time and then I'll tell you. That's what I told you, I guess.
Exactly. That's
But
exactly
then
what
I
you told me.
think we can wait for another 6 months before we start taking others' money and start trading for them and then take a particular amount of fee. Yeah, I think we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Definitely.
We'll
I
come there.
have that belief that it will be sooner than you
Thanks.
expect.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thanks.
So
So
we've come all the way from you being a
mhm,
little kid, a first grade.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's clearly observed. I mean, if when I pay attention, I can see that you're motivated and driven since the young age. And the best thing was your mindset was focusing on gaining something out of the shit you did. You
yeah,
never saw it for winning.
yes,
You were always looking
yeah.
for something you can learn so that you can use it in your
Learning
life.
from it. Yeah, yeah.
That has
That's
gotten
actually
you a long way.
yeah. That did. That did. I
And that
think I see the same thing in you because, like, remember, we were the same kind of people back in the
yes.
day. The seventh and eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade. We were almost the same kind of people. We were into the same kind of shit, landing into trouble for the same kind of things, and all of that, right? But then at one point, it hit me like, out of all the friends I have, there are only a couple of friends that are really driven. One was you, who I can name out like at any given point of time. I can just tell people like, this is the guy. If you need some kind of motivation, if you need something to be done in your life, if you need opportunities, this guy is there. He's gonna give you opportunities even though you don't, like you don't know anything in life. He's gonna tell you. He's gonna explain you things and all. So like a couple of people asked me, with all of your reels that you're putting up on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
they've asked me like, who's this guy? He's like really good with whatever he does. And I'm like, so this is my classmate. I'm really proud of that. Firstly,
Thank
secondly,
you.
like, this guy is the same kind of guy that you are right now, but he was motivated earlier. So he's in a better state at this point. Like all of us are in the same way, right? Like all of us
Exactly.
were into all kind of shit. And then at some point reality bitch slaps us and then we're just like,
Yeah.
cool, I'm gonna change.
I'm not gonna
So that's
live
what
like that,
happened.
bro.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
For
And
me,
I think
for me,
that's
the
a
bitch
very good thing
slap
for us.
came with the gym.
Yeah.
That gave me a
Remember,
lot of perspective.
yeah, 2 years ago or 1.5 year ago, I've asked you, like, I think it was when we all met for some reason, like
Mm-hmm.
all of our school people we met. And then I was like, okay, this guy is like a Hulk. How do I get there? I really need a good body. Not because I want to impress someone, but because for myself, I like having a fit body, right? So I was like, cool, I'm going to hit this guy up. And then one day I called you up, I think at like 6 o'clock in the morning or something. And then you told me my whole lifestyle is different. Like I wake up at 4 or 3. You wake up at 3, right?
Now I wake up at 3, then I used to wake up at 4.
Yeah. So you told me that you used to wake up this early and then you used to sleep by 9, probably like
Yes.
8:39. And even I remember when you came over for New Year's Eve this year itself,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So like I just moved into the new house and you came over and you were like, I have to leave by 8 o'clock. And I was like, guys, everyone be here by 8 o'clock. And the moment I sent that message, you're like, bro, I sleep at 8. I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? Why is this guy sleeping at 8 on New Year's Eve? And then you told me something that really stuck with me. Okay. So you were like, bro, consistency is very important for me. If I'm not consistent one day, I'm going to lose it out the next day or some other day. I don't want to do that. But like, if you really want me, I'm going to be there. Like, it's not that big a deal for me to stay away. And you stayed up.
I
But then
stayed. I
I
stayed
remember
till
you
2.
do something else. Yeah, you were up till the next day started for you. Like your day
Yes.
starts at 3. You left at 2. You were like, my day started anyway. I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna take a dump and then I'm gonna start working out. And I was like, this guy is so driven. Like on New Year's Eve. When everything's closed, this guy wants to run his business as usual. So I was like, there is no holiday for millionaires. This guy is going to be a millionaire at some point.
Thank you,
So
man.
that
Thank you
those
for
are the
believing.
small kind of things. Yeah, those are the small kind of things, like that drive people around you. So because of you, thanks to you, this year's New Year resolution was start getting ready by 6:37.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up, go out, run or work out. So when I was in Bangalore during like pre-pandemic time, I used to wake up at like 4:30 every day, no matter what. Every day I used to wake up at 4:30. 5:30 I used to hit the gym. 4:30 to 5:30 I'd like drink something or like eat something, and then I used to hit the gym by 5:30. 5:30
Okay.
gym opens. I used to hit the gym by 5:30. I used to get back and I used to be ready by 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
Dot 7:30 I am ready. Like I'm ready to hit the college. College starts at 9, right? So during that 7:30 to 9 period, I used to read some books and all. Oh wait, I didn't tell you about this. So there's this phase in my life where I never read books. I think that was the majority phase of my life. Uh, till the age of 19, books were like a 1 kilometer distance for me. I would never touch books. I hate books. I can't read for so long, and I'm not that committed to something for so long. Okay, I'm like really short. I'm really short on attention span.
Got it.
Like I really need some kind of motivation for me to like continuously keep doing that. For stock market, it's the kind of passion I have for finance and not the money. If you
Got
chase the
it.
money, you'll never end up with money, right? So for books, I realized that if I learn a lot of things, it'd be something that will help me drive towards my successful life, right? So I've read a lot of books. There were a couple of motivation books. There were a couple of books on how to start a business. There were a couple of books on what kind of businesses to start, how those businesses would run, and everything, right? So I think everyone should read a lot of books as well. They make a mistake in their initial stages of life where they don't read a lot or they don't learn a lot, and they don't know what to do. Like 90% of the people I talk to right now still don't know whether they're doing something in life or whether they're getting placed or they want to like go for higher studies. And today, if I ask my friends, like all of my classmates in Bangalore, I'm gonna be like, guys, what do you want to do? I bet 90% of them would be like, I don't know, because they've never read about anything. They don't know how the world works, and they don't know what kind of money is being made out there, right? So
Exactly.
I felt like that was one thing that people need to hear more often, like read more, learn more, try something new, like something you like. There is always money in anything you like.
To be
You just
honest,
need to figure out how to
I
make it.
never, to be honest, I never read books also. But then again, when this Grant Cardone guy, he literally changed my life. I was
Right.
motivated, but this guy got me into obsession. So
Yeah. That's the point,
I
right?
was thinking motivation is good enough for me. Then he showed it to me that motivation is bullshit.
Yeah.
He showed me what obsession gets you. And then I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck,
That's true.
that is the thing I want. Why wouldn't I be obsessed? So this guy,
Yeah.
in one of his videos, he's like, I hate being broke more than I hate reading books. So I'm like, fuck, that makes a lot of sense. If that
Yeah.
is the
That
case,
does.
why the fuck am I avoiding reading books? Then the next thing I did was I
Yeah.
took
It's
up a speed reading course. I learned how to read
right.
faster. And I read 12
Right.
books in a
Oh yeah.
month.
Did you not make a video about like
Yeah, I made a
reading
video
books
on
and
it.
all recently? Yeah, I watched that. I watched that.
Awesome,
I think
thank
everyone
you.
should watch that as well.
Thank you for watching
This
my
guy actually
videos.
makes a lot of nice content. I think you guys should follow this guy and like be updated with whatever he makes.
I
He's
think
really nice. I really like him.
I really think you should pick up his advices and watch my videos.
Yep, I'll do that. They'll do it. They'll do it. Don't worry.
So yeah,
At some
reading
point.
books is insane. And then in 1 month, what I learned was this: I was not reading a book to change my life. I was just reading a
Right.
book to find one point which will change my life.
Right.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. And then I took sales
Right.
books. I started reading about sales strategies. I pick one
Mm.
strategy, apply it, then change it up. I shared it with a friend. He calls me up saying,
Mm.
"Ki bro, I don't know how it works. It works."
But it works. Yeah.
He was
Like
shocked.
they're all experienced people, right? Who are writing books and all. They've already
Exactly.
tried and tested it.
It's
So
like,
like, why not use it?
as you said previously, There's a pattern. Success also
Yeah,
leaves footprints. You can literally
yeah,
follow what others are saying and expect the same
yeah,
result for you. Only thing
yeah,
is
yeah.
time. You
Right.
need to give it time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
Oh
don't
wait.
give that.
Yeah, that's the thing. So like a lot of people texted me about this whole stock market earning thing. Okay, so they go like, you made a lot of loss. You lost all your capital. Why you still do it? Like there are 90% of people in the market who are only losing money. There's like very less amount of people who are actually going to make money. Right? So there's this thing called system hopping. Okay, system hopping tells you how many times in a row you make a loss and how many times in a row you can make a profit with some probability.
Okay.
So, like, let's say you do 1,000 trades. So, there's like a number 10, 20, 30 till 100 with increments of 10. So, there's like a probability that tells you, with like, let's say, if you're picking 10 as a number of losses or number of profits consecutively, like
Mm-hmm.
today I've made a profit, next day I've made a profit, like that for 10 days, or today I've made a loss, the next day I've made a loss for the next 10 days. There's this thing where, there's a probability. It is a statistical thing. People who understand statistics would believe in this. People who don't should still believe in this, but you don't need to understand it. You just need to know that, like you can only hit a profit 10 times in a row with a probability of 30%. The
Okay.
60% is chance. So there's like all of these things that people tested out in time. And I believe in it, like whether others do or not. If you actually believe in it while applying it, you actually tend to make that kind of money because you only do the stock market is like an ocean of emotions, right? Because you only trade based on your gut feeling. If you think it's
Exactly.
going up, you buy it. If you think it's going down, you short sell.
Depending on
So
your emotions, other people
yeah,
make their
yeah,
decisions.
yeah. So if a lot of the people, who are in the market have the same emotion as you do, if everyone thinks, the stock is going to go up, everyone's going to buy it. Stock price shoots up, and then you sell it at one point, and then you're like, cool. So I've made a lot of profit, and I think everyone starts selling at this point, and then you sell the stock. But then market tells you, no, you're wrong. At some point, market's not always going to give you money, right? So it's going to tell you you're wrong. There is some more capacity for the stock to rise, and it rises by more than what you've actually earned initially. So there are instances like that. Everyone goes through them. You just need to like wait for enough time for you to know whether it's profitable or not. So I've read this book. I don't remember the book, but the book message is very important rather than the book. The book's message is you try out things for at least 2 years in your life, no matter what, like come losses or come profits or whatever. You try it out for so long, let's say 2 years, you understand whether the business is for you or whether it's profitable or whether it's a loss-making business. So this is the time period, the minimum kind of time period. It's not for every business. Some businesses you realize it really early. Some businesses you don't. You realize it later. Within 2 years, the thing that he wants to tell is that you have to try it out for so long that you understand whether you actually make money or you lose money out of it. And if you're making money and you're passionate about it, what good can any other business do? Like, even if you're making a lot of money, more than this, and doesn't give you any passion or like it doesn't have any happiness for you, what's the use, right? So that's the
Makes
thing.
sense.
That's like what people miss out. So these are like kind of things that like people like you and me understand. People like who are watching these videos should understand and get to the same level and start, like making their life better.
I'm sure they will. They just need
Yeah, they
the
should.
right
The right
time, I
push.
feel. Not
Yeah.
right push. I feel that everybody responds to life in their own ways. So they need a certain
Yeah.
situation to happen
Yeah.
for things to
Circumstances do
trigger.
matter. Yeah, yeah,
It
that's
can
true.
either be trauma, it can be a good experience, it can be anything. But they need an
Yeah,
experience to change the direction.
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So this is a long ass talk.
Yeah.
I got to know a
You are
lot.
going to take a lot of time to edit. I
I,
think we
to be
started at like 11:30 or something, right?
was the time? I didn't even check the
It's 1:12.
phone. Damn.
1:12 now.
We started at
Yeah.
11. We started at
No, no,
11.
no. We started 11:30 something.
Okay.
The 11 we had some technical issue. You couldn't hear me and all, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So
We had to
that's it.
change a couple
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
So I got to know a lot
Yeah.
more about you than probably whatever time I've known you for. I got to
Yeah.
know more about your childhood, got to know more about how you think. Because I
Yeah.
always knew your mindset was somewhat like this, but then now I got a
Mm.
better picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how this guy is going to go. I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's so obvious that yeah, you're going to get good or even probably best at this thing because
Like,
that's how you're
wait,
looking at it, right?
yeah.
You're either going to be at the top or the bottom. You don't want to
Or
be in
I'm
the
going to be
middle.
the. Yeah, I don't want to be in the middle. I just
So
want to do it till my life ends.
exactly.
Wherever
So
it takes.
let's end this video with
Yeah.
you giving them or whoever is watching two habits that really helped you a lot in your life. Two habits which
Okay.
changed your life around.
Okay. So I don't think this works out for everyone, but
Mm-hmm.
if people do actually follow it, I think it works out really well for them. Like certain people already have the kind of calmness that actually gives, like, that actually you get from meditation. I think meditation helps you, center yourself and understand what you're doing better, or like give you a focused opinion about what you want to do. Helps to drive you towards something, right? So you need a calm mind for the mind to know what to do for you to get better. And meditation helps people get that. I've tried it. I meditate for like about 30 minutes a day. I try
That's amazing.
certain points. It's just like 20 minutes to 30 minutes in between. Some days it's 30, some days it's 20. But consistently, I can surely tell you that I meditate for 20 minutes a day. I think people should meditate for a longer period of time to keep their minds calm, because all the stress that people have is like a lot. And if you can't deal with the stress, the mind is not allowed to work on new things. There is always stress about something, right? And if you can't deal with that stress, you can never work on new things. So that's one. And two, I think people hear this a lot more than they should actually hear. Read a lot of books, like so many books. There are so many people writing about so many different things. You know, the course that you actually do online could actually be turned into a book, right? So all of these books actually are way cheaper than the course, and you get a lot of knowledge from that. You don't actually have to start all into something. You just have to start somewhere. Start somewhere. You figure out whether it's a thing for you, and if you think that it's for you, you pick up their course and then educate yourself. Education is that thing where like you don't like ratify everything. You don't mug up everything. You don't buy hard everything. It's like understanding and liking it. If you don't like it, don't do it. Just don't waste your time. Like find something that you like. You have like 23 years or 25 years of your life where you can try various things. Try everything out. Try as many things as possible. Like for example, I've tried out guitar, I've tried out photography, I've tried out event hosting, I have tried out art, like in terms of painting and all, and I've tried out stock market. Out of all these five things, the only thing that I really like and I'm passionate about and that can actually drive me to the kind of lifestyle that I want is stock market. I've realized that. It took me 20 years. And do you actually think like just working on your education because someone told you with the same ideology that, you know, study this, study that, you'll become a doctor, you'll become a scientist, you'll become a engineer, you learn this kind of money, your life is sorted. You don't know. You never know, right? There is a lot of uncertainty in the kind of market that we're going into, and
Very
people
true.
don't get that. So I think they should educate themselves. Read a lot of books. That's what I think helps them.
I
And
think.
there's a bonus thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, wait, there's a bonus thing. I think they should watch a lot of your videos. They'll be motivated enough to do a lot of things that we actually tell,
Thank you.
because it's the first video of all of those videos that you're going to come up with. I think they should like watch a lot of videos from your end, because you're going to talk to a lot of amazing people, and they'll have amazing things to share. And I think this is the kind of motivation, this is the kind of push that people might need in order to start somewhere, because there'd be a lot of people in like different backgrounds. They'll know something that would interest them, right? So
I
I
hope
think
and
that
wish whatever you said happens
everyone,
because I want others to win with me. And that's exactly what you
yeah,
are saying too.
yeah.
So these three
Okay.
habits, asked for two, but I got three. If you observe
Yeah,
over
the third one's
delivering,
important.
yeah, third one's important, but more importantly, it's over delivering on what you said you will do. Thank you again. So
Anytime,
even I
anytime.
personally feel following these three habits will absolutely have a good effect on your life. Meditation had insane effect on my life.
Yeah,
It,
I think
it,
I picked it up from
it
you.
went from like this to this. You did?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
That's awesome.
Your whole mindset part was like my whole mindset part is coming from your end. The whole meditation, working out to like keep your mind calm so that it, works on new things.
Thank you so
I
much,
picked that
man.
up.
Thank you so much. Now I'm going to have more drive to do whatever I do.
That would be amazing. I'll continue watching your videos constantly. That would,
Thank you so much once again. So
yeah,
yeah, Jayanth
thank
Reddy, it was nice having this long ass conversation with you.
yeah.
I hope you a
Thank you
good
so much
day.
for having me. Yep,
Sorry?
same to you. I said thank you for having me.
What kind of shit is that? Of course. It was my pleasure to have you over here, dude. A lot of informative content. See, I don't care if this is going to motivate anyone or not. You just gave patterns of whatever you did. I learned a
Yeah,
lot of things. I learned
yeah,
how the perspective is also going to help. So
right.
I'm going to involve myself into that thing. So if somebody else
Yeah,
can do it, it is going to be insane.
yeah, that's true.
Awesome. Let's catch up soon. We have other things to speak about. I
Yeah,
actually have other things to speak about related
all
with
right.
your day trading only. Let's catch up.
Just give me a call. Yeah, sure.
Okay?
I'll see you then.
Bye, man.
Bye.